So in this last 5 weeks, we have been on a journey, as you know, through the three brains, the head brain, the heart brain, the gut brain. And last week we took a trip to Vegas and learned about this amazing communication nerve. We also call it the love nerve, the vagus nerve that communicates from brain to heart, from heart to gut, and up and down this superhighway. So most of this journey has been on the emphasis of getting you acquainted with your three intelligence centers and realizing that when we activate them and align them, we can tap into amazing amounts of wisdom that's already within us. So now we go deeper into the wise teachings or philosophical teachings of yoga. And that brings another layer of understanding to these three intelligence centers. So I'll be unpacking the next 3 weeks, the teaching of the three malas. And I'll explain what a mala is in a little bit here. It's not a mala bead, it's a different kind of mala. So the three malas, just kind of in summary, address the main causes of our suffering. The main causes of our suffering, or sometimes in yoga, we call it impurities of understanding, just not understanding things. So as humans, we all experience these three malas. None of us are exempt from it, and it's not a bad thing. It is part of the human condition. So as smart as each one of these intelligence centers are, the wisdom of the yoga texts tell us that just by merely being human, being a human being, that we're going to forget our greatness, we're going to doubt our worthiness, that we are going to have feelings of separateness and also feelings of helplessness. And I bet if you think about it, you've had many of these feelings throughout your life. It's part of being human. So we get knotted up, we get cluttered, we get cloaked in these intelligence centers, and then that affects the way we live and the way we believe and the way we think. So we might fall into unhealthy beliefs like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, or I'm separate from, or I am powerless. And today's mala that we're going to focus on is all about separation. So the feelings of division, difference, comparison, judgment, we all fall into this place at one time or another. And we know there's been a lot of this going on in our country lately, division, difference. And quite frankly, it's exhausting. So mala, let me define mala first. So mala means a veil or a cloaking. So just like a sheer thin veil that would drop over our mental awareness. And then we forget who we are, we forget our goodness, our greatness, our power. And it's just, I guess you can think of it like as long as we're human, a mala can come in. It's like a cloud coming over the sun. We know the sun is still there. The truth of the sun is still there. The cloud comes in for a little bit and covers it up. So Maya Mala is the first mala, Maya Mala. And this has to do with this, the brain, the head brain, this intelligence center. So Maya Mala is sometimes translated as impurity of differentiation, or this refers to the perception of otherness. We are separate from others. And we see this in religion, we see it in politics, we see it in race, where we get to that point where we are different, we are separate. And when Maya Mala is present, we fail to see the connection. We fail to see that we're all interrelated and connected. We see difference instead of unity. We see anger and prejudice and comparison to others. And then our behaviors turn into, we analyze others. We judge the color of people's skin, their age, their political party. And when you don't understand something, you judge it. And that means we are cloaked in Maya Mala. So to sum this up, Maya affects the brain, this area, the brain, head, neck, shoulders. We're going to focus on this area a lot today. And when we get veiled, you might ask, why does this happen other than being human? We get veiled with Maya Mala when we focus too much outwardly. too much on what other people are doing or too much in general on outward. And so how do we clear it? We clear it by focusing more inward. And that's what we'll be doing today. So becoming more accepting of yourself, and then that carries over to other people in a more positive way. Making an effort to see the world through others' eyes and really listening to them and trying to understand their point of view. So we can connect and see unity instead of separation. So looking for the commonalities, you can think of it that way too. And the other way to clear this is through yoga practice, through inversions, going upside down, like downward facing dog is a nice inversion, chanting, making sound that vibrates in the throat, and meditation. So our class will have a combination of all of this today. So let's center. So adjust your body if you need to become comfortable. And we'll close the eyes and just take a few moments to sit with this. Maybe the concept of the malas is brand new to you. And some of you have heard me teach it before, but it's pretty profound. It's when you catch yourself in this place of judgment, of seeing the differences, of seeing separateness or otherness, you can start to smile and say, oh, there I am. I'm just all mollified. And you start to turn your awareness more inward. So let our practice today be an opportunity to clean and clear the impurity of difference, of otherness. And just may we reawaken to the remembrance of our unity, how we're all so connected. Tuning into your breath, remembering from last week, Ujjayi breath to help soothe the vagus nerve. So beginning a sweet Ujjayi breath where the sound resonates in the back of your throat, like the sound ha. Recognizing this is more than just air. It is life force. The same life force that is flowing through every life form on the planet. We all depend upon it. Breathing in, feel that you're breathing in. Breathing out, feel that you're breathing out. As the breath begins to calm you, you might even notice the beating of your heart or your pulse, which is also common among all human beings. And as you exhale, see that you might be able to release any stress, any of that difference mindset. And then join the hands together in front of your heart center. Take a moment to bow. Human life is an inner journey from the head to the heart, from separateness to oneness. Let's draw our focus deeply inward today with our practice and just clear away any impurities of separateness, of otherness. We ask for goodness and grace to surround us and support us as we practice. And then slowly lift your head, open your eyes, and let's begin. So come onto your mat, everyone, and actually come into some type of a seated position still. Sorry, I'm adjusting my light here on my computer. It's really dark. I can't see. Let's see, there we go. Oh, and there was light. So come into a seat. It could be the seat that you were just in, or cross-legged, or it could be that you bring your legs out front. Maybe that's more comfortable. And then from here, I want you to sit really tall, stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling. So you could do cross-legged or legs in front of you. And then reach over just a little bit. Just lengthen up through the side of your body. Starting in slow and steady here. And simple movements, but lots of emphasis on the breath. And then coming back up, put your fingertips on your shoulders like we did last week for Robin's breath. Inhale, open up through the heart. Exhale, bring your elbows towards each other, draw your chin down. Repeat slowly, inhale, open. Exhale, round. One more time. Good, and then sitting up nice and tall from here. Release your arms. Now we're just gonna focus for a minute, and we'll be doing this a lot throughout class, how to keep our head on straight. In other words, good neck and head alignment. So take your hand, make a fist, and put the fist right underneath your chin. And then gently press your chin down as you gently press your fist up. What I want you to feel is length up the back of your neck, the back of your skull, all the way as if you had a piece of hair like this attached to the ceiling, or a strand of a string, and you're just lengthening up. Good. Then keeping that awareness, bring your hand back down. Now keep your awareness as you turn your head to the right. Just turn as far as you comfortably can go without lifting the chin. Notice any pockets of tension that might be waiting for you. And then keep your head on that same plane as you turn it all the way to the left side. Notice how the chin might want to drop down or lift up. See if you can keep it somewhere in the middle where you placed it. Good. And then come back to the center. All right, now stretch your legs out in front of you. You can take your blanket off to the side, bring your feet flat on the ground, hold on underneath your thighs. Oh, and have one block nearby. So go ahead and grab one of your blocks and just place it off here in the waiting area. Hold the back of your legs. Inhale, lengthen tall. And then keep the length and lean back a little bit. So anchor your feet strong. You might want to lift or just hold here, and then let your arms float out, and then just simply hold here. Let your core start to awaken and come online here as you hold. Find a position where it feels like you could be there a little bit. Not too easy, not too hard. Then lift your right foot a tiny bit off the floor, just an inch or two. Put the right foot down, lift the left foot. Good, flip the left foot down, hold your legs, bring yourself on up to a little cow pose, and then exhale, round into cat. Again, inhale, lift on up, cow. Exhale, ujjayi, cat. Lifting up again, please. This time, lean back, a little hinge back here. Engage the front of the body. Extend your arms, hold here, find that place, that sweet spot where you feel something going on, but not too taxing on your back. And now you can lift one foot at a time, or you could lift both feet just a teeny bit. Doesn't have to be high. Lower is actually a little bit harder. Good, place the feet down, hold your legs, pull yourself back up. Inhale tall and exhale round. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lengthen up to the top of your head. Think about your neck alignment. And then exhale, round. Good, and then sitting back up tall. Please take your block, place it on the back of your right hamstring, so the back of your right thigh, and you're gonna pull the block into the hamstring. So kind of just smush the hamstring and lean back a little bit. And then lift your right foot and start to straighten your right leg. And it should feel really comforting if you're firmly pressing the block into your hamstring and at the same time pressing your leg into the block. It actually will help you open the leg a little easier. Good, release and come up. Let's do the other side. So squish the block up into the back of your leg, lean back, engage your core, and then lift the foot. And doesn't matter what height you're at, just straighten the leg. Keep pressing the leg. I'll move my leg here so you can see. Pressing it into the block as you're pulling the block up into your leg. We're going to do this in a different way later, so I just want to test it out for you here and release. All right, I'm going to switch positions now. Please come onto your hands and knees. And once you arrive here, let's see, where are we going? Oh yes, let's bring your right leg off to the side and toes face forward. And make sure your hands are just right under your shoulders. And now start some gentle baby cat cows here. So start to tilt the pelvis up as you let the heart lean forward or reach forward. And then round and push the floor away as you talk. Let's do that a couple more times. So slowly tilting the pelvis. You might feel that transferred into your inner thigh and your right side there. And one more time, breathing in, breathing out. And then stop and come to the place of the middle and walk your hands forward a little longer. So now they're out in front of your shoulders. Start to shift your hips back a little bit more. And then if it's possible, bend your elbows maybe a little, or perhaps bend them so they go all the way down to the ground. See what's available. And then lift the elbows or straighten the elbows again and look forward. Do that 2 more times. So hips move back, elbows bend, perhaps touching down. Lifting the elbows, long neck as you look forward. Last one. And back up. Good. Now bring the hands back underneath you, back to tabletop, and take your left arm through for thread the needle. So left arm comes through, come down to the left side of your head. The right arm can stay bent here, or you could explore straightening it, reaching it over your head, maybe even rolling a little more to the back of your head. And let your breath be present. We're clearing out Maya Mala, that sense of otherness, of division, of judgment. It's not bad. As humans, we go there. We just don't want to stay stuck there. And then lift yourself on up, come to center. Place your left hand on the floor, and then take your right arm now up towards the ceiling in a twist. Right arm up, big wide open twist. Support it with slow, sweet breath. And then circle the arm down and bring your right leg in. Between sides, let's go into a downward dog. So bring your hands forward. Lift your hips on up to downward dog. And looking back at your feet there, start to roll through your feet mindfully. So from the toes to the ball of the feet, towards the heels. Just take your time rolling through the feet, pedaling the knees. And shift your awareness up to your upper legs, your hamstrings. Push your hamstrings back as your leg straightens. Good. And now lower your knees back down to the floor. And let's repeat that hands and knees series on the other side. So hands in all fours, left leg out to the side. And from here, little cat cow. So as you lift and tilt the pelvis, look slightly up. And as you round, look inward. Couple more with your Ujjayi breath. Coming back to neutral, move your hands forward quite a bit so your arms are fully extended and shoulder width apart. And then here, push your pelvis back and see about bending your knees or bending your elbows. That's what I meant to say. And then lift back up, elbows, knees, same thing, right? And then lower back down again, lifting on up. One last time, bend the elbows, like you're taking a little bow honoring yourself, and come back up. Awesome. Bring your hands back. We'll do thread the needle now. Right arm comes through. Come onto the right shoulder, right side of the head if possible. And you can twist and look up perhaps. The left arm can stay bent or extend over your head. And just ask, am I breathing? Can I invite my breath to be fluid, cleansing, clearing breath? Soothing the vagus nerve as we talked about last week. Ujjayi breath. Good. Take your time, come up, place your hands underneath you. And now we're gonna twist the left arm to the ceiling, right arm pushes the floor away, reach up. And just pause to observe where else in your body you feel this. I'm not gonna tell you where you should feel it because there's really no specific place, it's where you need it. And that goes with every posture, right? Feel it where you need to feel it. And then slowly make your way back down. Bring your leg in, hands forward, up you go to downward facing dog again. Each exhalation, get to let go of any sense of otherness and filter out that otherness. We're all part of the human race. And inhale, come forward now to a plank pose, and exhale, lower on down when you're ready. Inhale, lift to a funky cobra, hands come wider, up on your fingertips. We'll do this 3 times here. So just get lost in it, kind of play around and lower down when you're ready. Strong legs when you rise, maybe slither around a little bit up here. Oh, feels good. And then release back down. And then hands by your chest, please, once you're down. Push back to your first child's pose and let your hands, arms extend out, come up onto your fingertips. Hands about mat width wide, and let your head drop down, fall inward with your focus, with your awareness. Ujjayi breath. One more slow, steady breath. And then lift your head and come on up. So locate a block at this point. And if you don't have a block, you could use your hands as a reference point. So put the block on the top of your head. So remember we said Maya Mala affects this intelligence center, the head brain. And so we're going to place the block on top of your head. Hold it with one hand and put the other hand in a fist underneath your chin. And just reapply what we did at the beginning. It doesn't take long. A little pressure down with your chin into your fist and a little pressure up. The fist is responding. Feel length up the back of your skull, back of your neck. Good. Keep your head in that alignment. Both hands onto the block now. And gentle pressure down, block into the top of your head. And then I want you to extend your head up, like your neck is growing longer. Extend up into the pressure of the block. So really lengthening the back of the neck, back of the skull, all the way up. Good. And then bringing awareness here to the head brain. And now move the block to the back of your head, like a headrest in a car. And this time move your elbows slightly forward more. And then firmly press the block into your head. But at the same time, press your head back into the block for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let up on the pressure. Maintain the placement of your head as you release the block, and then just feel an awareness of your head floating slightly backwards as opposed to jetting forward. Feel that awareness. We want to continue this throughout the class. We get our head on straight. My mom always said, Marcia, you get your head on straight. I'm sure you probably heard something like that from your parents as well. So keeping that in mind, now let's move to, we're going to flip over and bring the block into this wide position between your inner feet. Okay, so place it right between your inner feet and then recline on your back. Please take a moment here to find a lumbar curve under your low back and then bend your elbows like I'm demonstrating here. Push down through the elbows and elevate and open the chest region. Okay. Then be aware of what you did with your head and neck alignment a moment ago and find that position here. So for many of us, we might have to slightly lift the chin. You could even put your fist under there again just to position. And then press your elbows down and firmly press your head into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is also a great way to strengthen your neck and release tension through the neck and shoulder area. So from here, we're going to begin to lift our pelvis up. You're squeezing in your feet and inner ankles on the block. And then notice as your chest rises, gets higher, how your neck wants to flatten out or your chin wants to drop. Avoid that if possible. So lift your chin up slightly. Maybe you have to lower your pelvis to find that place. Holding here, the legs are strong, they're waking up and they're hugging in towards one another. Breathing Ujjayi. Feeling all parts of your feet grounded. You might feel your buttocks. They should be awakening here. And then slowly lower the pelvis down, finding that lumbar curve as you arrive. Squeeze the block between your feet and lift your feet up. Now for some, it might be a little lift here. Listen to your back. I'm trying to maintain that lumbar curve. Try that as well. And then if it feels right, extend the legs out and you have to, of course, hug in on the block. Otherwise, it's going to drop, of course. So holding here. Now you can keep your hands on the ground, or you might experiment with bringing your hands up and palms come together here above your chest. Legs hugging in, hands touching if possible, or you can keep them here on the ground. Use the back of your head for some strength here. Let's start to bend your legs. Feet come back down to the floor. Pause for a second. Turn your head to the right. Let your chin drop down towards your right shoulder. And then up you go to the second side, rolling across the back of the head. And coming back to center. All right, let's repeat that. Squeeze in on the block with your feet. Nice fullness through the chest and space under your low back. Begin to lift your pelvis up into bridge pose. And we're being really mindful of our head alignment today, right? So not drawing the chin to the chest here, rather attempting to lift it. Breathing as you hold. And take a moment to notice, are my knees widening apart? Can I hug them inward? Good. Then slowly lower your pelvis, everyone. Pelvis touches, but try to keep a lumbar curve and then lift the legs, maybe a little bit, maybe tabletop, maybe extend. Maybe they reach out to a diagonal, just see. I know we're still warming up here. You could add the arms up if you want. And then third option takes it a little more intermediate, would be rolling or just lifting your chin up high now and rolling to the back of your head. Called Uttana Padottanasana. Uttana Padasana, that's the name. Oi, and then you're gonna slide back down. If your shoulders are lifted, release them to the floor. Release and bring the feet down, arms down. Take a deep breath in with awareness in the head brain, honoring this intelligence center. And now bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug there. And roll off to your right side. Let's all come back up. From here, we are moving to a standing position. So rise, come all the way up. So since we're talking about, I just have to adjust ourselves here. I'm crooked. Okay. So bring yourself into Tadasana, mountain pose, and then place the hands on your low belly, on the other intelligence center. We'll get to this one in week 3. This is Karma Mala down here. So Maya Mala up here in this area, the veil of impurity of understanding, otherness, difference, judgment, and we are clearing that today with our awareness. So place your hands on the belly for a moment. Actually, let's do one hand on the belly, one hand on the throat. This will help us for where we're going. Feel your abdomen. See if you can firm it or gently engage it, draw inward, and notice that. Feel like, oh, I'm strong here. And then keep your hand on your tummy as you, on purpose, jet your chin and neck forward. So do a little chicken neck. And then notice how you might lose tone right here when you do that. And now keep your hand there. Take the head back and notice how it's easier to keep this integration, this connection. So interlace your fingers now, put them on the back of your skull, down here where your neck and your skull meet, the occipital ridge, we call it. So keep the hands right there. Bring your elbows forward slightly, and then shoulders, draw your arm bones back into the sockets. And you should feel your shoulder blades come onto your back. Now, chin hasn't dropped down. We're going to press the head firmly into the cradle of the hands. I'm pressing really strong here. I want you to do the same and start to lift your chest up. It helps you go into a stronger little back bend shape if you're really using your head, right? And then exhale, release, bend your knees. Keep your head in that alignment as you extend your arms into chair pose. Notice how there's a sense that your head wants to stay back from that isometric pressing. Hold here, maybe a little deeper through the legs, and then slowly come down. Touch the floor and straighten your legs. Now let's toggle your head. So lift it up and down like a big yes. Yes to connectedness, to oneness, to unity. And then toggle it back and forth like a big old no. No to division, to separation, to otherness. We are all so connected and need each other as humanity. And then now from here, step your right leg back and lower the knee to the ground. Come upright, bring your hands back into that cradle position so fingers are interlaced. Draw your elbows forward, arm bones back into the sockets, and then you're pulling up on the back of your head with your hands as you press your head back and start to lean back a little. So there's a really nice supportive feeling up on the back of your head here and your neck as you arch back. Explore looking slightly up here if you haven't already, and then reach down, touch the ground with both hands. And we're going to shift the hips back to a half split. If your hamstrings are shorter, a little on the short side, then use your blocks and straighten your front leg. So you can put your blocks right here if that feels best. Okay. Flex your front foot. And then from here, flare your toes. Try to wake up the pinky, third and fourth toe there. Come on, wake up there a little bit. Then turn your whole foot inward, your leg inward, broadening your left hip and buttock over to the left. And then go the opposite. Turn the foot out, the whole leg out. So maybe the pinky toe side of your foot touches or gets pretty close to the floor. Receive the breath in. Ujjayi breath. Good. Coming back to center and then bend into your front leg. Lift up, step back, downward facing dog. 2 slow breaths. Now, please step your right leg forward between your hands. Lower your back knee. Come upright and cradle your head. So, again, the heel of your hand is at the base of your skull. Elbows forward, arm bones back. Feel the shoulder blades support you. And then start to lift up from your pelvis all the way up your spine as you lean back. Head is pressing firmly into the hands. And you're lunging, and you might even have the corners of your mouth turned up slightly. Remember, the vagus nerve runs into the face, and your facial expressions also have an effect on every part of you. Good. Slowly come down, reach down. We're going to shift the hips back now. So straighten your front leg. Take a moment to feel straight on here, toes up, and flare them. And then turn your whole leg inward. So you're going to widen your hip and buttocks to the right. And now go the opposite. Turn, externally rotate the leg, and just see how far down you can take your pinky toes. Keep flaring them for an added bonus. Slow breath. And come back home to center. Slide your foot back and bring your leg all the way back. Now from here, we're going to go back and forth from downward dog to plank 5 times with awareness of Ujjayi breath and head alignment. So come into downward facing dog. And then for head alignment here, just check to make sure your ears are right adjacent to your upper arms here, your biceps. So the head is between the arms here. So it's not dropped down looking back, or is it lifted looking forward? For now, it's just right between your arms. And now inhale, come forward to plank, and you're just simply going to keep your neck long and look at the front edge of your mat. Exhale, back, downward dog, head right between your arms. Inhale forward, look at the front edge of your mat. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Just really being aware of neck and head alignment. Again, inhale forward, hold the plank. Exhale back. And lower knees down. Come onto your forearms and just take a moment to clasp your hands together here. Interlace your fingers. Check that your elbows are under your shoulders approximately. And then let the head drop. Just shake it out a little bit. Give it permission to drop. Think of this as a child's pose here. It's a variation of child's pose. And now walk your knees back further. You can see them here if you're looking back. Walk your knees a little bit further behind your hips. And then start to lift your gaze and look out past, get the front edge of your mat past your hands. Then shift your pelvis forward a little bit and actually come all the way down. So you're lowering your thighs down and your pelvis down and lengthen up through your spine. Although we're not lifting the chin. Keep the back of the neck long. Good. Press down through your elbows. Shift the hips back now. This time, push your chest back towards your thighs. Nice stretch up through the armpit region you might feel as your chest moves back. And then start to lift your head. We're just transitioning forward again. Thighs come down, pelvis comes down. A little baby sphinx pose here. And then push back again. And trying to get open through our shoulders here, upper back, down the side bodies. Press your hips way up in the sky and your chest back. And then come to the place of the middle here. Move your knees forward a little and unclasp your hands. Now you'll need to find a block. Now this is going to be kind of a little litmus test, and the block will be our friendly reminder to keep our head on straight, to keep things in alignment here. So have fun with this. Your block may fall, just put it back on. And what I'm going to ask you to do is place the block. You might just watch here for a second. It's going to be partially on the back of your head with an edge of the block on your upper back in a plank pose. So watch here, in a knee plank. So I'm just going to look down. I'm going to put the block here where it's on the back of my skull, but also slightly resting on my upper back. So I'm going to let you do that. I'll be waiting here for you. I'm in all fours position, hands and knees here. And I'm looking at the mat straight down. I'm not dropping my head down because I'll lose the block, and I'm not lifting my chin up or I'll lose the block. So a nice long neck, and the block is a good reminder here to keep us in alignment. Now, shoulders over wrists, you can choose either walk your knees back and come up into a full plank, or keep the knees down and do a knee plank. Either way, once you're in a plank, up or knees, start to lower down, but keep your head lifting up into the block. So notice if your head wants to drop, which mine usually does. And now from here, we're still looking down at the ground. Curl the toes under, either through your knees or through your toes. Push back up, keeping your head right in alignment. So head is staying right there. Lower down again, head pushing up as you lower down. Take a breath at the bottom and then push yourself back up. You can go right through your knees or straight on up to plank. Good, and then lower down, last one. Keep your head lifting as you lower. This time, you're probably gonna lose the block as you come up to a little baby cobra, but keep your gaze down or slightly forward. See if you can keep the block. Ooh, it stayed on. Yesterday, mine fell off, and then come back down. All right, now you get to dump the block, however you wanna dump it. And from here, lift up, step or press back, downward facing dog. And then from here, everyone, you have an option. You can stay here with 2 feet down, or lift the right leg up, bend the right leg, and now lift your gaze and look at your thumbs slightly. And then just pretend that you have super long, flexible legs and they're going all the way over, and your right foot is now touching your head. So you don't have to lift the head up. Just look at your thumbs and keep lifting your back knee. And then stretch your leg long and lower it. Give yourself a hand, clap, clap, clap. And second side, lift on up, bend at the knee. And again, just trying to create a little bit of a cobra in your back here without lifting your chin. Okay, so we want to learn that we can have a nice back bend shape without crimping at the neck. Ooh, feels good here. Lift your knee higher and then lower on down. Walk your hands back to your feet. Relax the head. Just let it fall heavily towards the floor. Ujjayi breath. And then hands onto your hips. Lift your shoulders, please rise. All right, so as I mentioned in our opening, different ways to clear my Yiya Mala. Alignment matters. Meditation helps. sounding helps. And so as we move to this next sun salutation, we'll have our alignment, our awareness. And then at certain points, I'll invite you to do some sounding, which is basically just vibration that moves through the throat region that helps us clear out impurities and just really like the ability to not be able to speak our truth through this region. So the sound will be the sound of M, like like yummy, like good. Think of Campbell's soup. So hands at the heart center and shoulders back. Put a little bend in your knees. And then already maybe you're feeling a little more keen sense of awareness here with your head and neck alignment. So chin back, slightly down, long neck. Take a deep breath in and just blow it out through your mouth here. Open up. Now the next time we're going to make the sound So inhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the M sound down. Inhale prana. Exhale M. Right leg steps back, crescent pose, and then lift yourself on up. Establish strong feet and legs hugging in. See if you can make a lumbar curve here, so just not tucking under. And then bring the hands as we did earlier. Make a cradle. Interlace the fingers at the base of your skull. Elbows forward, shoulder blades on the back. Start to press your head back into your hands. As you bend into the front knee, lift your gaze slightly, only because your head is in alignment with your spine here. And lean back to a little bit more of a back bend. And then come back up. Slowly come forward. Extend one hand down to the floor or a block and turn your body, twist and extend the left arm up. Hold here, head in line with heart, heart in line with belly, lining up our intelligence centers, and then coming back down to center. We're going to step to plank now, new and improved plank with all of that awareness in the position of the head. So we hold here. Remember, if we keep the throat back, we're going to have more connection and tone to the strength of our core. So imagine the block is on the back of your head. As you lower down, keep lifting your head up. Don't let the head drop. Good, and then inhale to cobra. We're not really lifting the chin here, just letting the head ride along on the spine. Exhale, lower, back down. Push back when you're ready, downward facing dog. And the head right between the arms, finding a nice little home there, feeling supported by the boundary of the arms. Now step your right leg forward. Crescent legs here. Take your time, find a steady base, and then we build upon it. So this idea of we're all one and unity and connection has to show up in our bodies, and we feel strong and supported in our practice. So hug your legs and feet in, find a lumbar curve, engage through your core, and then add on top of that, here come the arms, elbows forward, arm bones back into the sockets, and you'll feel the support of your shoulder blades. Then you're pressing your head back, pulling up slightly with your hands so you feel that accentuated length. And then breathing Ujjayi as you coil backwards. Slowly come forward as you're ready. Touch down to a block or the floor with your left hand. Turning your spine, head in line with heart, heart in line with belly, and then extending the arm up. Holding here for a few breaths. Notice if your front knee is widening to the right. Hug it in. Circle the arm down and come through. And then please step forward. If you have a block down here somewhere, we're going to take it with us when we go up. So find a block. Inhale, extend the block forward, reach all the way up, and then bring the block behind your head. Elbows point forward, arm bones in the sockets. And then put a little bend in your knees, everyone. Thighs move back, tone your belly, and start to lift up through your spine, all the way up to the top of your head as you're doing a gentle back bend here. And then exhale, arm comes over with the block, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look out. Exhale, bow. Stepping back with your right leg. You're gonna bring the block up with you and then just bring it around behind your back here. Shoulders roll back. Lengthen up through the back of your neck. And then see about pressing the block away from you as you open up this time. Now use it as a nice shoulder chest opener. From here, lean forward, lean on out. And then release the block down. You can put it right here in front of you as you step forward with your right leg. Step back with your left. And then bring the block up with you. Hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back. I know you have your legs really strong, so keep hugging them in. Open up. Slowly come forward, hovering over your front leg. Let your arms lift a little. And release the block down. And just park it there, step back, do a downward dog. And then please bend both knees, lower on down to the mat. Take a moment in child's pose and just let your arms rest here and stack your hands. Let the head release. 3 breaths there, 3 slow cleansing breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhalation, lifting on up. And moving now to locate 2 blocks. You have 2 blocks, place them flat at the front of your mat here, a good shoulder distance apart. And then from here, I'm going to ask you to put your fingertips on the blocks and then back your knees up. So we're going for a little more opening through the side body and the shoulders. So we want to keep the armpits lifted, keep the head and neck in good alignment. As you shift your hips back, you're going to pause with your head right between your upper arms like you do in down dog. Keep your armpits lifting and just keep stretching your pelvis back further. Armpits rising, hips going back, and the head isn't completely dropping, right? We're keeping it in line with the spine. Good. And now from here, come up, walk forward with your knees, and make sure that the blocks are about shoulder width apart, not too wide. Come onto your elbows. Interlace your fingers. And now this one, what's important is that you have to keep pressing your elbows down and attempting to drag your elbows back. That's going to feel better for your shoulder. So press your elbows down. Right here, just imagine you're trying to drag your blocks back. Feel that action with your elbows. And then look back slightly towards your knees and start to stretch your chest back a little bit more. Head can release a little here, but not completely drop. And just trying to stretch your chest back as you're trying to drag your elbows back. Good. And then come back up when you're ready. Put your forearms on the block. You can stay here on your knees into an elbow plank, knee plank, or you could lift your knees and imagine that there is a block on the back of your head to the upper back. So you know that the head's going to be in good alignment here as you hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower your knees down. Good job, everyone. And come back. So we're going to move here now to, if you have a wall area near you, if you need to move at all, move your camera, turn to the wall area, and I'll give you different options. So one might be, if you don't have a wall area, you can stay here and work with a couple more of these planks and then stretch back. Okay, so you could do plank and stretch back, or you could do a down dog and a child's pose multiple times. Otherwise, I'm guiding you towards an upside down position called Pincha Mayurasana, or the prep towards that, right? So there's lots of strength and opening to be found as we're working towards postures. So just come along and get off the bus whenever it feels right to get off the bus for you. So either come back here and work on some planks, or if you're going towards the Pincha, you can interlace your fingers. Your elbows are on the block still. And then you just start to lift your hips up, walk your feet in a little bit. So here's a variation you can do right here in the middle of the room. And let the head release. And you might even play around with, ooh, what does it feel like if I lift a leg? What if I lift the other leg? So there's a place to play with peacock pose, Pincha Mayurasana, the prep of that. So you can try that, giving you some time to play here. If you want to come near a wall, I know some of you do this in your regular practice, you could go down to one block and you hold the block like this. So you hold it. And you could do that same prep, but maybe now you're just a tiny bit away from a wall. So I'm trusting at home that you're finding an option that's working for you. You're planking, you're down dogging, or maybe you're here at a wall now with your hands hugging a block. And then you simply lift up. This time I would take one foot and walk it way in, and then just try lifting the other leg and just feel that. So you're on your way towards the next phase of going upside down. So you just lift and lower, maybe do that on the other side, or all you need is just a really light kick up and the wall should be waiting for you. It won't go anywhere. Pincha Mayurasana, really clearing Maya Mala now when you get upside down, but down dog's working fine too. You could do that. You could do plank and down dog. And those of you in Pincha, feel free to stay there a little bit longer. I'm meeting back up with you all here. Nothing like changing your perspective, going upside down, whether it's down dog or Pincha Mayurasana. It's nice for yogis, for us to just have a way to clear our perspective and clear our minds. All right, so if you're still upside down, go ahead and come on down and we'll meet back up here with yet 2 blocks. And I prepped you for this earlier. So you're gonna be sitting on one block. So just place a block here and I'm gonna sit on it. And let's see, I'm gonna extend my right leg forward, left leg back. Right leg forward, left leg back. Now, if this isn't working, you could also stack a blanket on top of your block so you're a little bit higher. Okay, so I have my left leg bent back and my right leg forward. If you can't see that, it'd be like this side. So one leg back, and again, go higher on the block if you need to stack a blanket. I want to show you this leg first so you can see. All right, so from here, sit nice and tall, and then bring the block around behind you like we did earlier. Hold on the outer edges of the block. Please roll your shoulders back and lift up really tall. Now your right leg is straight, the heel is pressed down, and then start to reach forward with the heart. Remember, we're not jetting the chin forward, keeping that sense of alignment through the neck and shoulders and head. And you just start to lean over, find the sweet spot in your hamstring, your front leg there, and lift your arms. Really work for a nice shoulder opener. And then lifting up as you're ready. This is what we did earlier. So you're gonna bring your block around, bend your leg, and now put the block underneath and firmly press it against your hamstring. So it's like, whoa, you're pulling back. And then lengthen up through the spine, strong abdominals, start to lift the foot. And it might be right here that you stop, but see about exploring a straight leg if you're pulling back with your arms, pushing forward with your leg, flex your foot, flare your toes, holding here. Should feel really comforting on your hamstring. And then bend, release. And from here, we're going to take the block behind you with your right hand, left hand on your knee, and then just nice, sweet little twist. Turning to your right. Ujjayi breath, slow and steady. We turn. Winding down here, the detoxifying, cleansing process is coming to an end. So just keep breathing out. Come back to center, and we'll simply switch our legs. So bend your right leg back, extend your left leg out, bring the block behind you, and then roll the shoulders back, flex the foot. So if your hamstrings are tighter, maybe you only lean here. Maybe just find where it starts to speak to you, where it starts to say, whoa, or it's okay to go further. Arms can lift up and back. Notice the head. Breathing as you fold. Welcoming all the sensations. Just like we welcome all of our fellow brothers and sisters on this planet. We might appear to be different, but we're all so interconnected and so much alike. Lifting yourself on up, bring the block around, place it against the back of your left hamstring, lean back and pull the block into your leg as you push your leg into the block and straighten. Layer your toes, long neck, top of the head. And then please bend your leg, place your foot on the ground, bring the block behind you with your left hand. Are you still there? Are you still there? Sorry about that. Oi, oi, oi. Are we all still here? Someone chat to me. Oh, all of a sudden we were gone. I see you now. I'm getting something that keeps asking me to leave the meeting. Okay, we're back. Okay, I'm assuming you were maybe sitting on a block. So come off the block and we're gonna recline now for Shavasana. And I have a song for you today that will Be lovely just to calm you and clear you. So hopefully we'll stay connected. Sorry about that. Feels good when we get back together, right? That connection. Separation doesn't feel good, right? Just ties right in with our theme today. So you recline on your back, grasshoppers. Settle back in to absorb. And I am going to share with you a beautiful song. I hope you enjoy. You won't be able to hear me. I'm going to take my ear pods out.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, or brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world
Feeling yourself in whatever position you're in. If we could all, 7 billion of us on this planet, have that same desire that we could all live as one, we could all just get along. Starting to breathe a little deeper now, breathing and sharing that same life force energy that we all share. And beginning to move your hands and feet, starting to transition. And bring your knees in and roll to your side. And then press yourself up to a nice seat. When you arrive in your seat, let the hands meet up together in front of the heart. Feel the position of your neck and your head. Let the head drift slightly back and lengthen through the back of the neck. Just bringing awareness to the fact that Maya Mala exists, that it's a natural occurrence for us humans to feel different than or separate from. It's okay to feel that. We will again and again, but we don't want to live from that place. Reminding ourselves more and more that we are one. We are so much more alike than we are different. I'll leave you with this beautiful reading. The whole of planet Earth is a sacred site. All people are the chosen people, and the purpose of our lives is a spiritual one. May we each care for each other and for the earth, and for everything relates to everything else. Feeling this oneness, may we radiate the light of love and kindness, that all may live in unity and peace. Bowing towards the heart, when I am in that place of my heart and you all are in that place of yours, we are one. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for sticking with me through the glitch. Namaste. Have a fantastic week.